Hey guys, I am just doing my weekly update. It is the middle of October. Isn't it interesting when you start talking about things and they absolutely present in your life as well? So I had started talking about life bombs, and I had been noticing that, particularly through this year, more and more life bombs, life bombs are really things that have a massive impact in your life, and your life can be in a total different direction afterwards, from little to big, but it's quite impacting. And uh, I, have noticed them. So that's where my kind of work is heading at the moment, to really help people, kind of debunk and understand them. So of course, when you're doing that and you're working in that beautiful collective space, you also experience it as well. So firstly, shout out to my beautiful sister who is currently in surgery, having her hip operated on because she had a fall and broke her hip. And so that's huge life change for her. So sending her all the love, and, we'll unpack that together, when we can. At the same time that now I have found myself with a ripper cold, so I can't go anywhere near her, of course, because I can't get her sick. So, it's all kind of happening. But back to collectively what I kind of saw this week at work. I returned to work this week. I absolutely love working with you guys, and it was people coming in with so many big things going on in their life, from death of people that was really super unexpected, to illnesses, to big shifts, relationship breaking up that shouldn't be broken up, and people really feeling like they're at the bottom of the bottom, and they really don't know how to get out of things. So it's been, quite a heavy week in holding that space to be able to work through people's stories with them. I think that, often can happen also at the end of the year. So we're kind of, a lot is going on right now. I think the life bomb situation, and there's a lot coming up I'll explain at the end, but there's some beautiful things I'm doing to try and really help people get perspective and support themselves better through them. And that's the thing, like there's so much grief and change that happens with life bombs, but we often tend to kind of get better quickly. We want to be better and brush through it. And we don't take the time to explore where that grief perhaps is going to take us, or how changed we are and how we support ourselves to live from that change. So these are some of the things that we can explore. And there's all kinds of depths to that because, life, different life forms have different significant impacts. So life bombs was kind of a really big thing that came through. Exhaustion was the next one. Exhaustion was really interesting because when I was unpacking that with people, we found a lot of people were being responsible for more than just themselves. So they're being responsible for, finances that, was meant to be a team effort, or kids in doing things, or members of their family in different ways. And this responsibility theme is coming up in a way where people are exhausted by it, but you're also trapped in it. So you don't know how to get out of it. And so then there's no way, you just get tired because you can't, there's no way out. There's like no hope, or no way to support yourself, or no way to find how you would do it differently, or change. So also in working with lots of people with that, it was a real relook at who are you responsible for really at the end of the day, and then learning that we're allowed to have boundaries and we're allowed to choose what we give. So I know that there was one, when we're givers, like we don't want to say no to people because it makes us feel really mean, and that's not in it, who we are. And so instead of just being outright no, it's rewording things in a way that also supports you. So, with one of my beautiful people this week, I was talking about, there was a lot of stuff that she needed to achieve, but she wasn't achieving because she kept getting pulled out to do other things for other people. And of course, that's how beautiful she is. She does that. But it was at a cost of self-abandonment. And then she wasn't getting things done. And then she's getting mad. And then she's exhausted. And then she's getting sick. And, it's all accumulating. So we reframed it in a way that you're an absolute giver. So you stay being a giver, love being a giver, but boundary it. So it means that, hey, my days that I can help others for the next period perhaps could be like Tuesday, Thursday. or I'm available Fridays for this, or I could do this when I do this. So it means that I'm not saying no, but I'm saying yes down the track. And so there was lots of work we did in resetting boundaries or redefining boundaries and re-looking at how you can make it work for you as well as someone else without feeling like you're being, shutting them off. And you're still available, but you're also, and this is the beautiful part, we're also starting to be aware of us and support us and be there for us. And so we're boundarying ourselves from overgiving, and we're coming back to being able to go, I need to make sure that I'm tucked in as well. And that's a really important, thing that we've been working on lots. So that's, might be something that you're touching on too, that you're so exhausted. Check in. It's like, where's that balance? Are you doing more than, you should or more than you have to give? And how can we redefine that for you? If you want help, of course, send me a DM. I'm always up for a chat. And the last one that came in, and that came in a number of times too, and this is quite heavy, but it's that real self-loathing. And it's the self-loathing when we look at ourselves through someone else's eyes. So it means that we think we might have done something that people wouldn't approve of, or, we're not happy with the situation that we're in or where we're at, but we're not looking at why we got there. And often, that real self-view is coming from not the truth. So when we do a perspective shift, we pause. So I talk a lot about, you might be in the mosh pit and you're in it and you can't get out of it. And you're all, everyone's like, trying to sort things out from a mess. And it's like the more we can step out and look at it, it's like there's a reason why we do the things we do. And there's a reason why we even make the choices that we make, even though we don't necessarily like the choices that we make afterwards, and we can't understand why we did it, and we're mad at ourselves. Yet there's a reason why. And when you pull that apart to go, what was going on? We often find that people are so lost to knowing who they are, or so lost to being able to be the version of themselves that they wanted to be, but they also don't know how to get that back. So this is why unpacking is really important, because when you view things from a perspective that is the truth, and that's the thing, it's like your version of the story of how you actually got there is the truth. And when we can really work through that and see that, it's so important, because it helps you come back to seeing you potentially through your experience eyes, or your soul's journey eyes, or what you're learning, rather than that harsh view of that self-loathing and I should have been better, or I should have done this, because that doesn't support us. And we can then go down that rabbit hole of getting really stuck in not knowing how we get out of that. And that's a pretty awful place for us to be. And the other thing too, with this week, if it wasn't the person going through that, they knew someone going through that. And so there was a lot of that. It's like, the life bombs weren't necessarily mine, but they were to my beautiful person that I really care about. And I don't know how to support me to support them in the life bomb. And so there's a lot, going on. There's a lot of big shifts and a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's coming back to going, how can I view this in a way that I can see it properly for what it is, the absolute truth in it? And then how can I also be able to see a way to know how to support myself better? If you want help with that, that's my absolute specialty. That's what I do. It's like unpacking things until we find what resonates. So, that was this week. That there was some people that came in that are going, I feel like I'm getting on top of things. I feel like I've got my boundaries. I feel like I'm really listening to myself. I feel like I can, so their stuff was more about watching other people go through things and not being able to, know how to support them. But their life is kind of, they feel stronger in supporting themselves. So again, that's a beautiful shift too. So lots of things going on, but it really is about knowing and learning how to listen to ourselves. So, that was kind of this week. Some beautiful, exciting things coming up just next week. This Sunday, there is a live that I'm doing about life bombs, just to give us a bit more of an insight into what they are and, how we go about getting through them. And then on Thursday, if any of you guys are around, or if you have people that want to meet me, or you are up for dinner, I've got a 3-course dinner at Shanika's. I'm so excited to just hang out with you guys, have some food, lay back, have a chat, talk about life bombs in a way that, it's a beautiful, relaxed kind of space where we can explore it a little bit more to get some more support for you. So that is Thursday, 6:30 this week. There's links in all my DMs and stuff like that. I'm going to post heaps about it. So, take a step, even if you, bring a friend or bring someone or come by yourself. Super safe space, super safe space. Be brave, because that life bombs are so life-changing that the more we know how to support ourselves, the easier we're going to get through life, particularly if we do it together. And lastly, of course, I have the retreat in Geelong, and that's a real deep dive into understanding your story and you and what we've been through and why your life is the way it is and how you can support yourself in a real empowered way to make empowered choices for you moving forward. So that's kind of me this week. That was a bit longer than I thought. Again, sending love to my sister and anyone else going through a Ripper life bomb right now that has really upended their life in that way. And I will catch you all next week.